ESPN 94.1 FM and AM 930 present The Drive.
We are ready to go. It is Tuesday. I'm your host, Paul Swann. This is The Drive on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. Our text line this hour, 304-396-TALK, 304-396-8255. We've got plenty to talk about today. We are going to give you an opportunity to win tickets to go see the Herd on Thursday, take on Georgia State. And we're going to talk a little baseball as well. We'll also hear from the head coach, Cornelius Jackson, as we continue to preview matchup between Herd and the Panthers. That's coming up here on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. But if you can't make it to the game, you're covered on the radio. But I'm going to make one of you a lucky listener today, a winner, and you'll get a 4-pack. All you have to do is text the program, 304-396-TALK, 304-396-8255. We've got some Coldcats baseball news to get into. We're going to do that here in a few minutes. We've got Christian Palmer joining us. Of course, Christian is the general manager of the Coldcats, so he will be on with us here. In about 10 minutes, we'll talk to him about the renewal of Tommy Gregg as the manager for the Tri-State Coldcats, see what kind of promotions are coming up. We've got Marshall baseball, of course, and then we've got Coldcats baseball, so we're going to have several months of use over at Jack Cook Field, year 2 for Jack Cook Stadium. So I'm excited about that, and I think you are probably as well. So we're going to get into a little bit more of what Coach talked about from his presser yesterday. One of the things we've been talking about is the importance of every game because of the tournament bracket structure. The fact of the matter is, the better you are in the regular season, the more favorable the bracket's going to be from a stamina standpoint, not just seeding. It's going to be beneficial for you in one regard to not have to play 6 games, 7 games to get to the NCAA tournament. But is there going to be a sense of, well, we're waiting around, there's a lot of rust on this team, this might backfire. You might have a team get hot and win all 7 games, get into the NCAA tournament, and you have your conference champion losing maybe the semifinal or the final. I think if there's going to be an upset of the champion, it's probably going to be the semifinal because you will have waited a long time to play. So I'm interested on what this bracket is going to look like once we see it go through its course one time. So we'll get into that with you. And again, the text line 304-396-TALK, 304-396-8255. We've got some good news today. Marshall graduate guard Jalen Spear named Sunbelt Conference Men's Basketball Player of the Week. Second Marshall player to earn the honor this season, first since Nate Martin did it back on November 19th. Averaged 20.5 points, 4 assists, and 2 rebounds per game. Shot 14 for 22 from the floor, 7 for 12 from the three-point line in the Herd's 2 victories. He's been impressive, even more so as of late. We knew he was good. We're just seeing it more now. In that game against Georgia State, shot 8 for 12 from the field, 5 for 8 from the three-point line, made 4 free throws, finished that game with 25 points, had a season-high 7 assists. It was a 92-79 win over Georgia State on January 23rd. And then against Georgia Southern, 6 of 10 shooting, 14 of his team leading 16 points he scored in the second half, and the Herd got the win 71-67. 14 points. He scored 16 in the game, 14 of them in the second half. So he had a game, absolutely had a game. And also, keep this in mind, through 9 conference games, Spear leads the Sun Belt in three-point field goal percentage at .533. Three-pointers made at 32, and ranks second in field goal percentage at .541. So it's good to see a Marshall player getting conference honors, and it's been a while. Nate Martin was back in week 2. We're talking about week 12 now, and so week 2, Nate Martin, and then after that, nothing from the Thundering Herd until the week 12 award. So congratulations to Jalen Spear. Definitely earned it. Hopefully he has another performance like that this week. We have Georgia State coming into Huntington, and then Coastal Carolina. And if you'd like to go to that Georgia State game, we got you covered with our text line, 304-396-TALK, 304-396-8255. And again, that text line this hour brought to you by Clark's Pump and Shop. So we're going to talk baseball when we continue. Good news today surrounding the Tri-State Coldcats. Tommy Gregg is coming back. And so that means we're getting closer to the start of baseball, not only for Marshall baseball, but for Coldcats baseball after the herd season is done. And we'll talk to Christian Palmer. He's the general manager of the Tri-State Coldcats. He does a lot of work for the team, and we'll talk to him about what's upcoming for the season. Talk about Tommy Gregg as well when we continue on today's edition of The Drive, ESPN 94.1 and AM 930.
Hit the road with the all-new University Ford. Shop our inventory of new Fords and used vehicles starting below $20,000. Fifth Avenue, Huntington. And online at universityfordwv.com. We are University Ford. Driving tradition forward.
At Poca Valley Bank, a handshake can still mean the start of a great relationship. We've been greeting customers with a handshake since 1908. Why settle for less? If you're purchasing your first home or planning for your future, Poca Valley Bank is here to support you with personalized service and local expertise. They are your trusted advisors. Why settle for less when you can experience banking with a team that truly cares? Poca Valley Bank, where relationships matter. Visit PocaValleyBank.com. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Hey Tri-State, Frank's Place is where friends hang out with friends. Stop on by for happy hour from 4 to 6 p.m. and a lot of daily specials. If you're a sports fan, we have what you want. From the biggest game in professional football, NBA, NCAA basketball, and the NHL. First responders, stop by Frank's Place and check out the specials we have for you. Frank's Place, located at the River Place Plaza, next to Fratelli's. Check us out on Facebook for weekly updates and specials. Frank's Place, your home away from home.
Our Kindred Communications family of stations reminds you of the need for blood donations to the Red Cross. Blood is always needed. It may save your life or the life of a loved one. This reminder is brought to you in part by
Thornhill Auto Group, your total automotive dealer offering Buick, Chevrolet, Chrysler, Dodge, Ford, GM, Jeep, Lincoln, Mitsubishi, and Ram product lines. Community Trust Bank, located beside Pullman Square on 3rd Avenue. Pollock's Jewelers, providing professional service with a personal touch. Visit Pollock's Jewelers at 913 Winchester Avenue in Ashland.
You've cut back on everything and you're still coming up short at the end of the month. Give your local State Farm agent a call for a free discount double check. They'll show you how something as simple as combining car and home policies can save you hundreds of dollars a year. Being there to help keep more of your money is why your local State Farm agent is here. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
In Huntington, Ray Crabtree, 304-736-8181. In Milton, Russ McRae, 304-743-9318. And in Lavalette, Jason Elkins, 304-529-7555.
Hit the road with the all-new University Ford. Shop our inventory of new Fords and used vehicles starting below $20,000.
Fifth Avenue, Huntington.
And online at universityfordwv.com.
We are University Ford.
Driving tradition forward. Listening to The Drive with Paul Swann on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930.
Our text line this hour brought to you by Clark's Pump and Shop, 304-396-TALK, 304-396-8255. We're going to give you a chance to win a 4-pack of tickets to go see the Herd take on Georgia State. That's coming up on Thursday. Your chance to win with our text line coming up. News released today that the Tri-State Coldcats will be welcoming back manager Tommy Gregg. Gregg, the winningest manager in Coldcats baseball history, coming back for his second season. And tell us more about the Coldcats, including the return of Tommy Gregg, is the general manager of the Tri-State Coldcats, Christian Palmer. And first, we've got Tommy Gregg coming back. It was a great first season. Of course, I joke that he's the winningest manager in Coldcats history. He's also the losingest manager in Coldcats history, but he's coming back for a historic second season. Sometimes these things just don't last very long. Very strong showing for the Huntington community first season. I know you got to be excited, and let's talk about Tommy Gregg first and foremost.
Super excited, and yes, Tommy holds every record at the moment, whether it is good or bad, but love to have him back. We're going to announce the rest of the staff in the coming weeks, but important to have Skip back. And, really enjoyed working with Tommy this past summer. He's been in coaching for a long time, played in the MLB for a long time, and I think that he is perfect for this league, Paul. Primarily our players are underclassmen in college, and Tommy can be a patient guy, and he was patient with me last year as well, a first-time GM trying to figure out everything, but no, him and I worked very well last season, so super glad to have him back and a part of the team.
What kind of feedback did he give? Because he's done this before. This was a new, even though there has been minor league baseball in Huntington, it's been a long time, different situation, different circumstances. And so what feedback did he give you or the community as far as what worked, what didn't work, and what to improve for year two?
He really enjoyed it, reached out to him, and him and I have kind of had an open line during the off season. Haven't spoken a ton, but every few weeks or so I'll reach out or vice versa. He really enjoyed it. New challenge for him. I mentioned that he has been involved as a coach for a long time in minor leagues, but never as the head coach or manager. So, it was a big step for him and maybe the most prolific coaching position that he has held. One thing that I know he and I and all the guys felt throughout the year is it's a grind, and it is a 60-day sprint, the Appy League season. Not very many off days at all, but I know one of the biggest challenges that Tommy spoke to me about for last year, just balancing out playing time. This is a league where they want all the players to show what they're capable for. That's why they are here, and so the MLB scouts can see what they offer. So, if it's a position player, we like for them to play every other day. Of course, pitchers, a little easier to manage, but I know that was one of the more difficult things for Tommy and the rest of the managers around the league, just trying to figure out playing time. And, Paul, you don't have a lot of time for the team to gel together before you've got to put together the first starting lineup. I think we had about 3 days of practice last year before we hit the ground running. So I know that was one of the challenges, but he really enjoyed being here in Huntington and was welcomed by the community. And obviously it, says a lot about how much he enjoyed it that he was willing to come back for year two.
So juggling playing time and priority for him, make sure everyone gets, I don't want to say fair and equal playing time, but gets an opportunity to showcase themselves. Was there anything else that maybe stood out to him, good or bad, about how the first year went?
Nothing in terms of bad that he spoke about to me. The goods, he felt like we were along a lot further than maybe we should have been as we were trying to throw everything together last moment. And so it was an accomplish, just to get the team on the field, a very quick turnaround. And, from the outside looking in, you don't realize how much that goes into having a baseball team and all of the work that it takes in the background. So, yeah, there wasn't really anything bad, and Tommy knew the situation that we were in, but I think things will be improved for us this upcoming season. And, I know one thing that Tommy is going to be very thankful for and mentioned to me that he's glad about, that the Cold Cats will be in the Marshall Clubhouse this year, so appreciate Marshall opening that up to us, and our guys will feel much more at home when they're playing at the Jack.
Yeah, you had shared with me some of the exit surveys from the visiting teams, and they loved coming to Huntington because they got the first-class treatment. They got to go in the actual Marshall Clubhouse, and that was where the visitors would dress and operate out of the first season. So that's going to flip now to make it even better for Huntington. Some of the things that we kind of keep an eye on once we welcome these players in is where do they go next? How far can they progress? It's early. We just had them a few months ago, but what are we anticipating from some of the standouts from last season?
So some of the standouts, and one of my favorite guys on the team, our closer, David Stitch. I'm not supposed to have favorites, but not many of the guys on the team will just randomly still call me at 10 o'clock on a Thursday just to chat, shoot the bull. And David is a great guy, a great human being. And, Paul, he is really the definition of what this league is for. He was playing Division II going into last college baseball season in Texas at Angelo State, was an amazing player in the Appy League, an all-star, able to throw 97 miles per hour, and college scouts saw him playing so well against high-quality competition that he actually was able to get a decent chunk of NIL money and transferred to Houston. So a big step up for him and able to stay in the state of Texas. So great things coming for David Stitch, and I know he's told me some MLB teams looking at him in this upcoming draft. Our catcher, Logan Poteet, who was a real standout. I mean, my goodness, whenever he was making his debut, we were on the road, so I wasn't able to see it in person, but we had kind of struggled throwing out runners on the base pass the first couple of weeks. Poteet gets his first start, guns a man down at second base, picked a guy off as well, and hit a 3-run homer. Now, Logan did transfer, and this kind of opened up some eyes because he was at Vanderbilt, and that is a baseball hotbed. You really can't do much better, if better at all, than Vandy. But he transferred to Charlotte. Looking forward to see what Logan does this upcoming season. And I know I was watching MLB Network the day of the All-Star game, and they highlighted him. They had about 4 or 5 guys on the screen, specifically highlighted some of the best prospects, and he was one of them. I know a Royal Scout was at one of our games last year, specifically to see Logan Poteet, so I think bright things are certain to come in his future, and he was an All-Appy League player along with one of our outfielders, Michael Rodriguez. Michael Rodriguez, one of the best pure hitters on the team. I could see that guy being a 300 hitter in the MLB.
Christian Palmer's with us. He is the general manager of the Tri-State Coldcats Season 2. We'll be here sooner than you know it. It'll follow Marshall baseball season. So what do we know about what potential players could come to Huntington? Is this set up where some could return, or is this going to be a brand new crop of players with no crossover from last season?
Well, and I am just a tiny bit in the dark on this as well at the moment. And, for those of you listeners out there who do not know, I wish I was the guy who is adding all of these players and subtracting them from the roster, but that is actually done by Major League Baseball. Justin Morgenstern does a terrific job, probably one of the most stressed guys in the entire world during June and July because he adds all of the players to the team, and when we lose someone, he has to, get somebody else to fill the spot. So we don't really know our roster at the moment. I was given our full roster, or initial roster, I should say, for the first time last year in early May. So it's going to be quite some time before we know exactly who will be on the Coldcats this year. However, if a university is the hosting team for an Appy League team like Marshall is for us and the Coldcats, they are guaranteed to have a few players on the roster. So we know that a few members of the herd will be on the Coldcats. And one thing that I know from around the league, Michael Callan Moss, who was the league MVP this past year for the Appy League champs, the Danville Otterbots, he played a couple of seasons with Danville. So I know that if the players enjoyed where they were at and are going to be returning to the league, it's more likely that they would go back to the team that they played with, kind of like you are seeing at the moment. The few managers that have been announced, I believe we're at 3 out of 10 teams have announced at the moment, all managers returning to the same team they were at last year. So would love to have as many of our guys back in 2025 as we had in 2024 because they were a great group of young men.
Joining me on the program is the general manager of the Tri-State Coldcats, Christian Palmer. We'll have more of the announcements coming up soon. Now, with baseball, it's about the promotions. Win or lose, we all love the promotions. What did we like from year one? What's staying and what's going to be new?
So, some things that we did like in year one. We did magnetic schedules for opening day. Still got mine on the fridge, and that way, whenever you're in the house, maybe going to get a snack, glance at the fridge. Oh, the Cats play tonight. I need to go out to the Jack. We will certainly be doing that again. And, one thing that we weren't able to do a lot of last season, Paul, was promotions where, we in Kindred Communications got involved very late in the process. It was more of, let's make sure that we have everything that we need to have a team and be able to play opening day, as opposed to what's the fun thing that we're going to do on June 17th. But where we have had an entire off season to prepare, we have so many fun things coming up this year. Mentioned we're going to do the magnetic schedule again. We're going to do a bobblehead giveaway as well. Going to do a bobblehead of our mascot, Scratch, who was a hit in season number 1. And we're doing a special. If you order your season tickets now at colcats.net, you will receive a free Scratch bobblehead. Doing that up to the first 200 people that purchase season tickets. Also going to do a wrestling night, bringing in, I know someone that you are looking very forward to, Sergeant Slaughter.
Sergeant Slaughter coming to Huntington.
That is right.
You ever watch him wrestle? Were you able to, were you old enough, young enough? I mean, did you see him wrestle in his day, or at least footage of it?
I have seen some footage, and, I enjoy wrestling, but I wasn't into it a ton. Whenever I was younger, I had about a 2-3 year spell when Ric Flair was about to retire. I really enjoyed it then. But no, I was never a super big wrestling fan, but everyone that I had talked to, oh my gosh, you're bringing in Sergeant Slaughter. And, if you are old enough to remember him in his heyday, every single person I've talked to is super excited about him coming to a game.
He's done it all. He's a legend. He's a Hall of Famer, and he retired in 2014.
Wow.
Started in 1972. He was even in the G.I. Joe cartoon, Sergeant Slaughter.
Yeah, I remember you showing me that, and I've certainly done some research on Slaughter, and I know he's got some Huntington ties as well. And, that's something that we've tried to do with a few of our promotions, give it a local tie. And one other thing that we're going to be doing later on in the season is a former Major Leaguers night. Was able to bring in Donnie Robinson, World Series winner with the Pittsburgh Pirates, best hitting Pirates pitcher of all time. He will be at a game, hoping to bring Rick Reed and a few others as well. We're going to have a fireworks night as well on July 5th. And, our base audience last year, they were kind of there for the baseball, as we weren't able to have a lot of pomp and circumstance. But one of the great things about minor league baseball and the Appalachian League, Paul, is that it's fun. And we are going to have so much fun this year. Almost wanted to kind of be like a circus has been brought to the ballpark. Got great baseball, great entertainment, great food at the concession stands. Everybody wins.
Any other promotions we can talk about? I know the highlight's got to be Sergeant Slaughter for a lot of people, but what are some of the other things that maybe the kids can look forward to, or that you're trying to put together?
Well, we are going to do a number of Little League nights this season as well. We did one of those last year, and that actually worked out pretty well. Kind of going to do the same deal. If a kid shows up wearing their Little League jersey, they get in the game for free. And so we've got a few of those planned out. Going to have a specific one for Barbersville, and hoping to do that with the Cerrito Canova Little Leagues as well. I think that the kids are really going to enjoy that. Also planning on doing a Kids Day, Fan Photo Day. You've seen this in Major League Baseball. Fans kind of lined up around the outer parts of the field, and the players will go around, take pictures with them. We're going to do that. Also, a Youth Sports Appreciation Day. We've got a lot of fun things for the kids, and, I just think that this is going to be such a great time for them. A lot of kids were at the field running around, having a great time this past year, and I think with the extra stuff that we have in, it's going to be so much fun for all of them.
Christian Palmer is with us, general manager of the Tri-State Coal Cats. We'll hear more from him as the season progresses. And, of course, you can head to the website, tristatecoalcats.net.
Yes, well, the season tickets are available on coalcats.net.
Coalcats.net, okay.
Yes, sir.
I'll make sure I had that right. So coalcats.net, and you get all the information you need there on the socials as well. And hopefully we'll get Tommy Gregg in here soon. Good to have him back. He was fun last year. Very, very enthused about the job. He knew that winning was important, but also it was a teaching opportunity. And that's the whole point of this is it's fun. You want the team to win, but at the same time, these young men are trying to get their career started. And so good teaching manager and Tommy Gregg, glad to have him back. You're just a big fan of him because he's a Pirate. He's a former Pirate.
Well, I almost felt like the league had tailor-made the staff for me last year. Tommy started his career with the Pirates, drafted by the Bucks out of Wake Forest. Now, he was trying to crack the lineup as an outfielder at the wrong time, Paul, because he was there when Barry Bonds was there and Bobby Bonilla, Andy Van Slyke, so ended up getting traded to the Braves, and that's where he played the majority of his career. But, yeah, certainly a soft spot for him because he was a Bucco, and our pitching coach last year, Solomon Torres, a number of good seasons with the Bucks as well. Hoping for a few more Pirates on my staff this season.
Can we get just a couple other teams? I mean, come on, let's spread this out a little bit.
We
come
will,
on now.
We will. But like I said, I don't make that decision. I just go with what they give me.
You don't make that decision. No.
Right.
Absolutely.
So no bias.
No, none at all. Absolutely not. Don't want to see. I don't want to see any of those. Just make sure no Cleveland guys. Okay.
Okay, I can do that.
Yeah.
I can do that.
Okay, I'm good at everything else. No Cleveland guys. Christian Palmer's with us. Good to have you here. Have some fun with it. We will come back and we're going to give some tickets away. Yeah, you're not eligible, Christian, but we're going to open our text line. I know you were reaching for your phone. Text line's 304-396-TALK, 304-396-8255. More coming up on today's edition of The Drive, ESPN 94.1 and AM 930.
Now is the time to add on a new bathroom or remodel your old one with the latest up-to-date bathroom fixtures from Mutual Wholesalers, 710 5th Street, Huntington. Come in today to Mutual Wholesalers' beautiful showroom and see how your new bathroom will look. Check out Acre by Max. Have a new bathroom this year. Mutual Wholesalers, locally owned and operated, 710 5th Street, Huntington. Call 304-525-9118.
Metro Community Federal Credit Union has been serving the Huntington community for 70 years and is proud to announce our newest location in Lavalette is now open. Wayne County residents, you now have access to a modern banking facility, a full range of services, advanced technology, expert financial advice, and even a smart coffee kiosk cafe. Learn more about Metro Community Federal Credit Union online at metrocommunityfcu.com or visit us today on 5th Street Road.
Equal housing lender, member NCUA.
Giovanni's has great Italian dishes. Spaghetti with meat sauce, lasagna, ravioli, manicotti, all dinners served with hot garlic bread or Italian rolls. Giovanni's, the Italian place to be.
Stalwart Insurance is the name for insurance in the Tri-State. They are committed to delivering tailored benefit solutions with thoughtful, strategic planning with valuable professional services. Stop by or call Stalwart Insurance for your homeowner's insurance needs. Stalwart Insurance is located right beside Kitty Queen Hardware on Route 10 in Barbersville. Call Stalwart Insurance anytime at 304-552-3883. That's 304-552-3883. Or visit them online at stalwartinsurance.com.
At Poca Valley Bank, a handshake can still mean the start of a great relationship. We've been greeting customers with a handshake since 1908. Why settle for less? If you're purchasing your first home or planning for your future, Poca Valley Bank is here to support you with personalized service and local expertise. They are your trusted advisors. Why settle for less when you can experience banking with a team that truly cares? Poca Valley Bank, where relationships matter. Visit PocaValleyBank.com. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Okay, forest animals, today is a new day. Kids are coming to the forest, and it's up to us to make their visit a good one. Sparrow.
Yes?
Have you practiced the most popular bird songs for the year?
Of course.
Catchy. I like it. Okay, River.
Dude.
How's the temperature?
It's a refreshing 52 degrees, man. Perfect for a little riverside shoeless relaxation.
Ah, good. Owl, you here? Of course. Who's asking? I am. Look, you know the drill. Sleep during the day, scare the kids at night. Perfect. I love my job. Oak Tree?
What's up?
Still in the same place I left you last year. That's what I like. Consistency.
Well, it's not like I'm going anywhere for the next couple hundred years.
I know. I love it. Turtle. Turtle.
He's not here yet, man.
He's late every morning. You'd think you would have learned by now to leave the night before our meetings. Okay. Squirrel. Has anybody seen Mr. Squirrel?
The forest has been preparing just for you. Visit a forest near you today. To learn more about cool things to do in the forest, visit discovertheforest.org. Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service and the Ad Council.
Take a look under your bed. Find stuff under there? What about jobs? No? Now try your basement. There's a pair of overalls that overall you're not so into anymore. A perfectly good laptop that hasn't sat in your lap in months. And even more stuff, but still no jobs? Well, you really have both. See, stuff is defined as household articles considered as a group. Sometimes this stuff is no longer needed. Wait, no longer needed? That can't be right. Because remember those jobs you were looking for? Those are really needed, and they're the stuff inside your stuff. Even inside that winter coat that moved with you to Phoenix. Our job is to unlock those jobs, and it starts when you donate your stuff to your local Goodwill. Here's how we do it. When you donate to Goodwill, we sell your stuff to provide job training for people right here in your community. So just by teaming up with Goodwill, you help create jobs. And isn't that worth parting with the leftover guitar from your 80s cover band? Goodwill. Donate stuff, create jobs. Find your nearest donation center at goodwill.org. A message from Goodwill and the Ad Council.
1 in 6 seniors faces the threat of hunger, and millions more live in isolation. Drop off a hot meal and say a quick hello. Volunteer for Meals on Wheels by donating your lunch break at americaletsdolunch.org. This message brought to you by Meals on Wheels America and the Ad Council.
This is The Drive on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. Follow at Paul Swann on X for Marshall sports updates and more.
Our text line this hour brought to you by Clark's Pump and Shop at 304-396-TALK, 304-396-8255. Welcome back to today's edition of The Drive here on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. Marshall getting set this week to take on Georgia State. Thundering Herd, 7 o'clock at the Cam Henderson Center. We're going to have that game for you right here on ESPN 94.1 at AM 930 and on 93.7 The Dog. We're also going to give you an opportunity to go to the game. Our text line this hour brought to you by Clark's Pump and Shop. Text of the day. You know the rules. It's real simple. I don't make you guys jump through some hoops or anything. I just want to give tickets away. I want to give as many tickets away as I can. I ask for more all the time. It's a hot ticket right now, and I've got to ask for more. Hopefully we can get some next week because a lot of people want to go to the game. Coach Jackson calling everybody out the other day saying, look, we need everyone here to make this a tough place. And so this is going to be probably a pretty big crowd coming up. Hope so anyway. We'll find out together on Thursday. I'll be there. Hope you will be as well. If you can't go because you don't have tickets, all you have to do is be a part of our show today. 304-396-TALK, 304-396-8255 is our text line to be a part of the drive here on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. Speaking of Coach Jackson, one of the things we talked about this week is the fact of the matter, the higher you are in the seeding means even more now when it comes to tournament time. Coaches circle, hey, it's tournament time. We're going to be fine. We're going to get into tournament time. We're going to be okay. We're going to put it all together. Now, if you started out pretty cold and maybe you worked your way up a little bit, you might find yourself in the middle of the seedings and you're okay a little bit. It's still going to be a rough journey, but if you're thinking, okay, we're gonna put this together, we're gonna get it together, and you're in the bottom 4, you got a long road before you get to eventually one of the top 4 teams. If you can make it that far, At the same time, if you're Marshall or one of the other teams right now, they're battling for one of the top spots. If you finish top 4, you're going to have a pretty easy go of it. If you finish in the top 2, you're going to have a real easy go of it. All you have to do is win the semifinal and the final. If you're in the top 4, quarterfinal, semifinal, final, you win 3. So it behooves you to win every game you can. You're wanting to win anyway. I think that's Coach's point in this comment he made. Is there emphasis, extra emphasis now? Every game being important was the question due to this tournament bracket structure. And he thinks that the fact of the matter is every game is one they want to win. Here's what Coach had to say earlier this week.
No, you know what? We want to win every day. It's not just the games. A lot of things go into winning a game, right? It's hard. So we want to focus on just winning every day. We want to win today. We have film, then we have practice, and then tomorrow same routine, and we want to focus on winning today. So let's win Monday, and then we'll worry about the next day. But we focus on winning every day versus looking down the road in this game and pairing up. Let's win every day. And we feel that if we stack enough winning days when it comes to game time, then we have a chance.
So let's win today. Win yesterday. Let's win today. Let's win tomorrow. I'm trying to win this segment, the next segment. If my defense wasn't very good in that last segment, hopefully I get better. If my shooting was off this segment, hopefully I'm getting better in the next segment. It's a good philosophy. Let's say we're going to try to win today. Let's win this, and then we'll win another. We'll stack some wins together, and then we get to game time. We have enough wins, we can possibly do it. One of the things that have been key so far in this surge of the Thundering Herd has been defense. It's been a key focus for this team. Coach Jackson explains how this team has taken ownership of it.
Yeah, you know what? They've kind of taken ownership into that. The last few games, Mike Dawson, I can remember him saying it. The Gibbs brothers said it one time, let's get 3 stops in a row. Jacob said it our last game. He said three stops in a row and this game is over. So they've kind of taken ownership into it, which is good. And a player-led team is usually better than a coach-led team. So as long as they take ownership and hold themselves to a higher standard, I think we can continue to have success.
One thing I asked of Coach, and I went back to a comment he made about the team maybe settling for shots instead of getting the best shot, taking a good shot, but settling a little bit. And Coach talked about that, and he also said that maybe that was not the best way to describe it, but improved shot selection has been a point of focus for this team. And Coach Jackson, when I asked him about that, he gave us his thoughts on how the team's doing in that regard.
Yeah, Paul, I think it's more so shot selection, right? We want to get out in transition. We want to put pressure on people. But I feel we're best when we're playing inside out in terms of attacking the paint or kicking it up, spraying it up the sideline of Mike Dawson. Then he's swinging it to Jalen. Ball movement. So, again, I shouldn't have said settle. I probably used the wrong word. It's shot selection because I've seen those guys make some of the shots that they were taking. But, it's an old saying, good shot, great shot. So let's pass up. Let's pass up a good shot for a great shot. And I think we've been doing a pretty good job of that.
Good shot, great shot. And that's fair. It's a fair comment. And maybe he didn't use the right word at the time, but that's a fair comment. And that's nothing to beat anybody up over. But he's right. Good shot, great shot. Let's pass up a good shot and try to get a great shot. This game's important. Home game, opportunity to stack some wins, put yourself in a position to be seated high. That's important. And Coach Jackson emphasizes just the importance of taking care of business at home. When he was asked about it, here's what he had to say.
Yeah, we do. Taking care of business is really important, and we focused on, always been focusing on the next game, and that's the next biggest game, and it's Thursday. And why is it big? Because it's our next game. And we have practice here at 2, and we'll meet before then, and we'll talk about kind of putting this past week to a close once we watch the Georgia Southern film, because we'll do that today, and then we'll close that chapter and move on to Georgia State and take care of, see if we can take care of business at home.
Game's coming up Thursday. We've got it right here on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. Let's go to our text line, 304-396-TALK, 304-396-8255. Texter says, happy birthday, Coach Corny. Let's pack the cam. 47. He said it was 47. I looked at him like, you're not even You're like the fourth oldest guy in this room. You're not even that old. And I was surrounded by Keith Morehouse. Keith's older. Jimmy Tracy. Jimmy's older. I'm a little older than Coach. And then you had one of the reporters is 25 years old. And I'm like, Coach, you're not that old when he was telling us at 47. So happy birthday, Coach Jackson. Absolutely. Can you believe Coach is 47? Really? Didn't we just watch him play like yesterday? Texter says, Paul, I want to go to the game. That works. It's direct, it's concise, and it's up front. That's an okay text. I'm good with that. You can text in as well. 304-396-TALK, 304-396-8255. Final segment coming up on today's edition of The Drive, ESPN 94.1 and AM 930.
Stalwart Insurance is the name for insurance in the tri-state. They are committed to delivering tailored benefit solutions with thoughtful, strategic planning with valuable professional services. Stop by or call Stalwart Insurance for your homeowner's insurance needs. Stalwart Insurance is located right beside Kitty Queen Hardware on Route 10 in Barbersville. Call Stalwart Insurance anytime at 304-552-3883. That's 304-552-3883. Or visit them online at stalwartinsurance.com.
Refresh your home today with window images, blinds, and shades from Menards. We have everything you need to update your window treatments. We carry vinyl, aluminum, and faux wood blinds, cellular shades, and more. Plus, get them cut to width in store for free. Get white faux wood blinds starting at just $22.99. Plus, check out our weekly flyer on Menards.com for all the great deals happening now. Sale price is good through February 2nd.
Save big money at Menards.
At Poca Valley Bank, a handshake can still mean the start of a great relationship. We've been greeting customers with a handshake since 1908. Why settle for less? If you're purchasing your first home or planning for your future, Poca Valley Bank is here to support you with personalized service and local expertise. They are your trusted advisors. Why settle for less when you can experience banking with a team that truly cares? Poca Valley Bank, where relationships matter. Visit PocaValleyBank.com. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Hey, Tri-State, Frank's Place is where friends hang out with friends. Stop on by for happy hour from 4 to 6 p.m. and a lot of daily specials. If you're a sports fan, we have what you want. From the biggest game in professional football, NBA, NCAA basketball, and the NHL. First responders, stop by Frank's Place and check out the specials we have for you. Frank's Place, located at the River Place Plaza, next to Fratelli's. Check us out on Facebook for weekly updates and specials. Frank's Place, your home away from home.
Okay, forest animals, today is a new day. Kids are coming to the forest, and it's up to us to make their visit a good one. Sparrow.
Yes?
Have you practiced the most popular bird songs for the year?
Of course.
Catchy. I like it. Okay, River.
Dude.
How's the temperature?
It's a refreshing 52 degrees, man. Perfect for a little riverside shoeless relaxation.
Ah, good. Owl, you here? Course. Who's asking? I am. Look, you know the drill. Sleep during the day, scare the kids at night. Perfect. I love my job. Oak Tree?
What's up?
Still in the same place I left you last year. That's what I like. Consistency.
Well, it's not like I'm going anywhere for the next couple hundred years.
I know. I love it. Turtle. Turtle.
He's not here yet, man.
He's late every morning. You'd think he would have learned by now to leave the night before our meetings. Okay. Squirrel. Has anybody seen Mr. Squirrel?
The Forest has been preparing just for you. Visit a forest near you today. To learn more about cool things to do in the forest, visit discovertheforest.org. Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service and the Ad Council.
Take a look under your bed. Find stuff under there? What about jobs? No? Now try your basement. There's a pair of overalls that overall you're not so into anymore. A perfectly good laptop that hasn't sat in your lap in months. And even more stuff, but still no jobs? Well, you really have both. See, stuff is defined as household articles considered as a group. Sometimes this stuff is no longer needed. Wait, no longer needed? That can't be right. Because remember those jobs you were looking for? Those are really needed, and they're the stuff inside your stuff. Even inside that winter coat that moved with you to Phoenix. Our job is to unlock those jobs, and it starts when you donate your stuff to your local Goodwill. Here's how we do it. When you donate to Goodwill, we sell your stuff to provide job training for people right here in your community. So just by teaming up with Goodwill, you help create jobs. And isn't that worth parting with the leftover keytar from your 80s cover band? Goodwill. Donate stuff, create jobs. Find your nearest donation center at goodwill.org. A message from Goodwill and the Ad Council.
This is The Drive on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. Miss an episode? Catch it anytime on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts.
Final segment for today's edition of The Drive here on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. Our text line this hour brought to you by Clark's Pump and Shop. It's 304-396-TALK, 304-396-8255. We're giving you an opportunity to win a 4-pack of tickets today. You can go to the game Thursday on me, 4-pack of tickets to go see the Herd take on Georgia State. All you have to do is text to win, and that's 304-396-TALK. We've got a couple of texts so far. Happy birthday to Coach Jackson. Just one that flat out says, I want to go to the game. That's all good. That's fair. It's 50. It's a coin flip right now between those two. So if you want to make this a little bit more difficult on me, you got to participate right now. And everyone that's gone so far, I've had good reports. We've got good tickets. That's why it's so hard for me to get them, is because everybody wants my tickets. And so I've got tickets for the game on Thursday. I don't have tickets on Saturday because that's even going to be a hotter ticket. I couldn't manage tickets on Saturday. Sorry. But we got good tickets. It's a good seat. Look, only the best. I don't want cheap tickets either. No, I want good tickets. We're going to try to do everything we can to get some Cold Cats tickets as well, and we'll see what other tickets we can get for you. But it's all because of you. Thank you so much. We have almost a perfect pickup rate. A lot of people will text in, call in, hey, what I win? No, every day I've got a winner. I get comments from front desk, like, hey, you know what? Your winner's here. They're always here. And they're always prompt, and they're always on time. They don't come early. Yeah, sorry, I got the best listeners in the company. I'm sorry. It's the truth. So I do appreciate everyone for joining us on the show today, and we're going to try to make that happen for you. So, okay, if we get a few more texts coming in, we'll do the drawing here in a few minutes. If not, we're just going to do a coin flip today. Birthday wishes or just plain old, I want the tickets. Hey, don't forget, back tomorrow here on ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. We'll be a little bit closer to the game between Marshall and Georgia State. We'll hear more from Coach Jackson tomorrow. Also, we will hopefully, I'm trying to get Tommy Gregg on from the Tri-State Cold Cats. See if I can work his schedule, get him on the show. We can talk a little bit about the upcoming season, why he's excited to come back to Huntington, what it was like to have, the opportunity to be the first ever manager for a new team in Huntington. So far, so good. If you heard earlier, if you were with us, Christian Palmer talked about the team's going to be in the home team clubhouse. That's going to be big. That's probably going to help as far as make Huntington a more attractive destination for a lot of these kids. That maybe, hey, can I go to Huntington? Can I go play for Tri-State? I don't know exactly how that roster works, but good reports so far. I don't know if you can actually use this in recruiting. Like, hey, you're a pretty good player. You like Huntington. What do you think? You want to hit that transfer portal? Yeah, I don't think you can actually do that. But if you were thinking about transferring, you saw Huntington, you go, okay, this is a pretty good place, actually. I'm curious, though, what we're going to see, what kind of year two improvements we're going to see for Marshall baseball, not just on the team with the facility, but what kind of promotions the Thundering Heroes going to do, what kind of food choices we're going to get, what kind of enhancements we're going to get from the facility. We'll save this for the next week or so, but keep thinking about, what do you want to see from Marshall baseball, the experience, year two, Jack Cook Field? What do you want to see? What can Marshall do better? What could the Thundering Herd athletic department bring to make the experience even better? And so we'll give you an opportunity to talk about that later this week, next week as well, as we get closer to the start of actual baseball being played in Huntington. The weather is starting to break. It was actually pretty warm today. Finally, some of the ice near my house was melting. We got baseball weather. We're coming up. They're even going to, I think they're going to have a scrimmage on Sunday, I believe. That's correct. Let me get all the details on that so I know what to tell you, so you know what you need to know if you're going to go. All right, that's going to do it for the show. Thanks for tuning in. Appreciate everyone. We're going to pick our winner. I got a tough choice here. I'm just going to flip a coin. It's going to be heads for happy birthday, Coach Corney, or tails, I want to go to the game. Heads or tails? Going to make that coin flip here right now. Have a great night, everyone.
Broadcasting from the Dave & Buster's studios. Eat, drink, play, and watch at Dave & Buster's in the Huntington Mall. ESPN 94.1 and AM 930. WRBC, W231BS Huntington.